Hey everybody, we're back with another Pipeline Podcast episode. This time, it's all about Splatoon 3 and Kirby's Dream Buffet and the concert and all that fun stuff. With me today, I've got...
Jared, also known as Walnut Muffin, and I just remembered I was supposed to set up the NVIDIA noise canceling thing, but we'll do it next time.
We'll do it next time. And I'm CMM or Clay, as you probably know at this point. Um, so we had an eventful, I guess, August so far in terms of Nintendo news. The big stuff being Kirby's 30th Music Fest concert and Dream Buffet alongside the Splatoon 3 Wow. It is delectable, but no, the Splatoon 3 Direct.
And the, as of this recording, upcoming Splatfest.
Yes. So I guess we can just kind of start diving into Splatoon 3 because there was kind of a lot to go through here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess first though, what were your overall thoughts on the presentation and on Splatoon 3 in general in terms of like what we know at this point?
I think the trailer could have been 5 minutes to show the new stuff.
Yeah.
30 minutes was mostly like a lot of it was just like, I know, I get it. I played Splatoon.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely an element of like, this is how Splatoon works. You spray ink and there's a turf war.
When they started explaining a turf war, I'm like, oh my god, you're explaining the only mode, like the main mode in Splatoon that like people play.
Yeah, I think former Nintendo staffer Kit Ellis said that the direct could have been an email.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really funny. I don't necessarily agree, but I thought it was very funny. Everyone got really mad at him for it too, which was really funny.
Yeah, people get mad at everything though. I want to play this game though. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Despite all of this.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sick of Splatoon quite yet.
Yeah, I really like a lot of what they showed. I think the main thing is just it's a lot of quality of life stuff and a lot of small things, and they didn't show anything that was like a big new thing.
There's nothing that couldn't have been a DLC patch for Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the exception of the internet situation, which we'll talk about,
and the
briefly.
Card game, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, of course, the card game. But I think people just wanted like one new big mode over Splatoon 2. Like Splatoon 2 has, hero mode. It has Salmon Run, and then it has the traditional multiplayer. Obviously, it got the DLC expansion as well, but like the core 3 for Splatoon 2 was Salmon Run.
I thought we were going to get Battle Royale. I really thought that was I thought that this was the time for that.
Yeah, and then this time we have, multiplayer, hero mode, and Salmon Run, and that's it.
Actually, I wonder if a Battle Royale was just limited because of the Switch and their architecture.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I kind of felt like that would be probably like the most obvious, not that they would, but like the most obvious choice for a new mode would be a Battle Royale of some kind. We got kind of new modes, which we'll get into, but nothing like, nothing defining like Splatoon.
Nothing you would call 2. A new game mode.
Yeah, nothing that you would call like a major new game mode. The same ranked modes are here.
Which that's game weird. I did think there would be a new ranked mode.
Yeah, I think they will still add one later on, like they did in Splatoon 2, but it's still Splat Zones, Tower Control, Rainmaker, and Clam Blitz. So if you've played those in Splatoon 2, you know what you're getting here. Obviously, the maps are different or whatever. We're starting with 12 this time, which is better.
It's 5 new,
7 old. Yeah,
7 old, which is
and the old.
It's not bad. I'm glad we're getting a lot of maps at launch.
Yeah, the only thing I'm curious about is how many Salmon Run maps we're gonna have.
Oh, that's a good question.
They did not really talk about that at all.
Yeah, I didn't like look up to see like how many people saw in like the trailers and stuff.
And I want to say Splatoon 2 ended with like 4 or 5 Salmon Run maps, which kind of stunk. I think it only launched with like 2, so I'm hoping that there'll be like couple more for
Yeah, I
Salmon
wonder if
Run.
it'll be a mix of new and old like the other stuff.
Yeah, what they showed, and again, Salmon Run maps are difficult for me because they're visually all like similar, so they all blend together
Yeah.
for me.
It
So
would
like,
be good to make them differentiate a little more.
yeah, so I don't really know if I could accurately be like, ah, yes, what I saw there was a new map, or or whatever. I don't really
Yeah.
know. Um,
It's less about the level. Like, I mean, the levels are important, but also the
yeah,
boss variety. And if they add
and
more
it
bosses later on.
yeah, and it's good that they added more than just two new bosses because like the last announcement was, oh, Salmon Run's back and it's got like two new bosses, and that was
Hmm.
it. This time they showed a couple more bosses, but they also showed importantly that you can play it all the time now, which is very
Yeah,
nice.
that's really nice. That was just,
Um,
it was just annoying before
yeah, like
having these special event modes.
yeah, like I understand the idea of, oh, it's a work shift, so you show up at a time, but like for
Yeah.
practicality purposes, that's not great. Um, they showed a couple new bosses, and they also showed there's like a chance of like so they have the new king salmonids, which are like once you clear all the waves, there's a chance that you have to fight a mega boss,
Hmm.
which I think is fun. Um, and they teased a new event for Salmon Run called Big Run, which
Hmm.
is something about the salmonids invading the city, um, where like Inklings and Octolings live. So I forget, Splatsville is the name of the city this time. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the Salmon Run equivalent of a Splatfest. That would be kind of fun. It's
Yeah.
called it's just called Big Run.
I thought they showed something that looked like a boss rush mode, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know about a boss rush, but
No, maybe not boss rush. So like there was like a lot of special salmon at once. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, you know how it gets as you get higher rank and
Oh,
stuff, like
I know
more
how it
bosses
gets.
will
Yeah.
spawn and things
Mhm.
go crazy. Um, and it is kind of cool how with the king salmon, like you can launch your eggs at them to like do damage. I think that's kind of fun.
That's cool.
Like you still count as having gotten the egg even if you like exploded on them. Like it doesn't affect how you did in the round. So like if you finish the three waves and then the big boss spawns and you fail on the big boss, like you don't lose the round. Um, like it still counts as a completion.
Oh,
But
that's
if you
nice.
but if you do good damage on the boss, and like you get extra stuff, which I think is cool.
Mhm.
Um, so that was cool. Like
Could we? Oh,
oh,
go on.
I
I was gonna
was
say, could we talk about one of the coolest new changes?
sure, go for it.
The Anarchy mode, where you can play the
Yes.
ranked masters with friends without having to be in like the really high tier of rank.
Yeah. So they've basically renamed ranked to anarchy. Essentially, it's kind of how it seems to me. Um, and yeah, you can squad up with people easier
which
now.
which you couldn't do
Yeah. You can tell
unless
me
you were
more
at like
about
the league
that.
mode.
Yeah, you can tell me more about that because I didn't really do much ranked in Splatoon 2.
Well, I unlocked ranked mode,
Mm-hmm.
but when you the regular ranked mode, you can only do solo, and you have to get. I'm sure this is wrong. You have to get some sort of letter grade, like a B minus or something,
Mm-hmm.
to unlock league mode, and league mode is the only way you can play ranked battles with friends
I
in
see.
matchmaking.
And league mode is still in.
Yeah.
I don't really understand what the difference
Well,
is.
I think league mode is you need a team of four. Like
Oh, I see.
I don't think you can match up with people. I could be wrong. Like
Gotcha.
again, I'm not a Splatoon expert,
Yeah. There's like
but
a bunch of different
yeah.
divisions of online stuff that
But
confuses
I don't
me.
think it could just be like me and you. I don't think we could
Yeah.
just go in league mode together.
Yeah, because like so what it describes for the anarchy options in the PR is for solo you can choose Anarchy Battle Series, but if you want to team up with friends, there's Anarchy Battle Open. So yeah, you can kind of just team up at any
Oh,
point.
this the series thing is cool. It's like 5 battles in a row.
Yeah, I didn't totally
Do you have to
understand
win them
that.
all? Is it like a survival thing?
It like gives you like I think it basically like kind of gives you like based on how you do on those five, it like puts you at a certain starting position. I think
That's weird. That's
is
like an
the
hour
idea.
of play or
It's kind of
something.
like a placement thing. Yeah,
That's not something I would like to commit to. I like playing like one or two matches at a time usually.
yeah, that's a bit much. But um, one thing that is cool, I guess, since we're talking about like the online features right now, is data mining has found that Splatoon 3 is using the new network standard that Nintendo has been working on in the background, um,
Oh.
which is known as NPLN. Most online games on Switch at this point have been on the old version, which is NEX,
Mhm.
which is basically built off of stuff they've been using since 3DS. My understanding, again, I don't really know too much about how this works, but my main understanding is that the main the main thing that the new protocol helps with is just stability in general, just like connection
Mhm.
stability.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, like, not that the net code still needs to be good, but if in terms of maintaining connections with players, it's more stable in that sense. So there'll be some improvement there.
That's good.
And I think that's some of the reason why we have some of these new lobby features. There's the ghosts thing, or like people who are online will show up as like little holograms,
Hmm.
um, and you can like talk to them and like join up with people. Um, and there's also the replay function now, which is super cool. Um, I think it shows up to 50 of your most recent battles.
Oh
Um,
wow, that's a lot.
And I know like if there's an update, like replays will become, unusable, like kind of like how
Mhm.
Smash Bros does with the
Yeah.
because of how that whole thing works. I think the replay thing is really nice. The nice feature that would have been nice to have before, but it's good that it's here now.
Yeah. It's good for learning your seeing your mistakes.
Yeah, and you can like I the you have like the test range and stuff in the lobby now, so you can actually like practice with your weapons while you wait to squad up, which is
Mm,
nice.
that's cool.
You don't just have to sit on the on the loading screen for 10 years.
Pressing the music buttons make it go. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fun though.
It was fun, but not that fun
Mm.
for that. Um, so there's some cool new lobby functions. Um, and the there's new weapons, of course. We had the bow already, but now we have the splatana, which is
Hmm.
basically if you have a sword beam in Zelda constantly, which
Yeah.
I'm down for. Um, and some new like special weapons that I thought were cool, like the fridge thing, the Tacticooler. It like you get like stat boost beverages, and it kind of works as like a shield too, or like the one that shoots like shockwaves and like marks opponents and stuff. Um, that stuff is all good. I mean, that's stuff that you expect because in a sequel is new weapons and stuff like that. I one thing that they mentioned specifically that I was a fan of is that when you start the game, you're able to buy at least one version of every like main type of weapon. Like you
Oh,
don't
that's so
have to level
nice.
up to level 20 just to be able to use the splat umbrella or
That's
just to be able to use
fantastic.
the ink brush or whatever. So
And don't you
yeah.
get some free weapons if you have Splatoon 2?
Well, so there is a thing with Splatoon 2 where if you have Splatoon 2 save data, um, you get access to ranked without having to reach level 10 and do
Hmm.
that grind. Um,
I thought you could just buy one weapon.
You can buy. I honestly don't even. There was
I
so much in that info
Yeah, I
dump.
thought there was something like
I'm gonna
that.
look real quick and see if I can find.
Why do I think I remember something like that? You got like if you had like Splatoon 2 day, you can get like any one weapon. Something wild like
That
that.
would be kind of cool
It would be.
if
Hopefully it's
that's
real.
like yeah. I'm gonna look for the website after after the direct. The website just had this like enormous info dump. Um, like
Oh, I
of
didn't even look at that.
just there's tons and tons like it goes on forever. Tons and tons of details about like literally everything, like the lobby terminal and like the characters that are in the lobby and how to play with your friends and teammate ghosts and stuff that's coming in the future. And it's like all this stuff. Um, weapons from past games. Um, so it mentions you can choose the base version of all main weapons at launch. Um, and then from Splatoon 2, um, you get. Oh, okay. Yeah. So these are the benefits. Um, depending on what your rank was in Splatoon 2, you'll start at a higher rank. Uh,
Yeah,
you'll
makes
also
sense.
get matched against players with similar skill levels from Splatoon 2, which is nice.
Yeah,
The thing I mentioned about joining Anarchy battles from the beginning of the game without having to do the grind to unlock the ranked mode, which is great.
that's nice. Yeah.
And the other thing is there's a thing called Sheldon licenses. They're called gold
Hmm.
Sheldon licenses. Um, and you can exchange those for weapons in his shop. So instead of the past where you buy weapons with the currency that you earn, you actually exchange these licenses for weapons. And you get 3 of these licenses if you have Splatoon 2 save data. Um, and basically, like, I think
Okay.
what it seems like is like the farther away from the level of the like the level that you unlock the weapon that you are, the more licenses it requires. So like if you're like level 1 and you want to get a level 5 weapon, it'll only cost you like 1 license. But if you're like a level like 5 and you want to get like maybe a level 15 weapon, it'll cost you like 3.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
so you can kind of get around the level system a bit for weapons.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, so with if you have Splatoon 2 save data, you get 3 of those licenses to start with. So you could
Neat. That's
theoretically
nice.
get a high level weapon um, in the beginning, or get a couple of smaller, lower level weapons in the beginning without having to get those licenses.
Oh, and these are, it says give these to Sheldon to access weapon types
Yep.
regardless of player level.
Yeah. So like you
Oh, okay, that's
unlock
just how it
weapons with
is. Okay, got
level,
it.
and then you can use the licenses together. So it's a kind of a nice way to get around that
Are
system.
they all called gold Sheldon licenses
I
or
think so. At least what I saw in the video, they all looked like they were just gold
they're all
licenses.
the same? Okay.
Yeah.
I like tiers of
Um,
those.
yeah. So that's how you get weapons this time, and it's like last time where every weapon is bundled with a sub weapon and a special weapon. Like it's still
Hmm.
weapon sets.
Which helps them balance better, so I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm personally fine with that. It's also more. It's also just easier in terms of like when you're picking equipment to go into battle instead of
Yeah.
having to pick each thing individually. Um,
I think the
and
bows look really fun.
they did do some nice stuff with save data this time, where the local save data, like Hero Mode, will actually support the save data cloud on Nintendo
Ooh,
Switch Online this time, and
that's
all of the
nice.
online data is actually attached to your Nintendo account. And they specifically say that you can play on multiple systems if your user data is tied to it.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic.
all of your online data, they specifically mention stuff like your level, your ranks, your items, your gear. It's automatically stored in an online server and connected to your Nintendo account. So
That's
similar
good.
to how like if you play any of the Nintendo mobile games, they feature like server side backups for your save data.
Yeah, if
Uh,
you uninstall Mario Kart Tour and you reinstall
right.
later, you'll have the same
And
stuff.
you and all the stuff will come back. Yeah, so it's like that except for an actual Switch game. So very happy about that. Um, and there is some new stuff with weapons I kind of briefly want to mention because it has to do with the licenses.
Mhm.
It's called weapon freshness. Um, so in the past, I know with gear, right? Like with clothes or whatever, as you
Mhm.
play more, like your gear levels up and you get more ability slots. They have a thing with weapons now called weapon freshness. Um, and you can raise your weapon's freshness, and I think it's each weapon has 5 levels essentially,
Mhm.
and they don't change how the weapon is, but they'll unlock stuff. So like you might get a Sheldon license, you might get like some
Oh,
decorative like stuff. Um,
yeah, it's basically becoming like COD.
yeah, it's kind of like yeah, it's not anything like weapon skins. It's more stuff for the like
Yeah.
locker and like other minor stuff.
It's cool if there's other ways to get licenses though.
Yeah, that's like one of the main ways to get licenses. It seems
Like
is essentially
leveling up your
leveling up the weapon.
weapons.
Yeah, so it kind of encourages you to at least try each weapon out
Yeah,
and
that's nice. Give
yeah,
people a reason to not just stick with the what did I use? The arrow spray for every single match you
yeah,
play.
the noob slaying weapons. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like kind of a thing I think is cool in this one, and it was the way this way in Splatoon 2 as well. But the game has a very deep like ecosystem of items and rewards and stuff that you can unlock and buy,
Hmm.
um, which is super cool. Um, you have normal stuff like the past games stuff is still there. You can still get a shirt and pants and whatever the other, I can't, my brain isn't working right now for gear, but you can get,
Yeah.
you have 3
Hats.
pieces of gear. Yeah, hats. You get 3 pieces of gear and level them up. Now you can level up your weapons as well, but now you can also there's a new shop, um, that is called Hotlantis, I believe, and that shop is for decorative stuff. So you can get emotes now are a thing, like when you
Hmm.
like victory, like what your squid does when you win. Um, and there's also these decorative items that you can use to customize your in-game locker, which is cool. That lets you can like display your gear in there. There's like stickers you can put in there. There's like objects you can put in there, and you can basically just kind of deck out and
Do,
customize this
do
like
you ever
little
see your
space.
locker though? Like, I mean,
It's in the lobby. So when you
do
go to
other people see your
yeah.
locker?
Yeah, so when you go to the lobby and go to the locker area, it shows lockers from the people that you've like played with recently.
Okay, that's kind of cute. It's
And
it's kind
yours.
of
It's
it's
pointless.
cute, but also worthless.
It's completely pointless, but like it's one of those things that I think is just kind of cute and
It's good
fun. And
flavor.
and they've put a lot of content into the system at least.
Yeah, it
There's
makes up for
basically
them removing fake Meverse.
well, Fake Meverse is still there.
Oh, good, thank God.
They have it's like the message board thing you can use to draw and write
Oh, that's
messages, so
wonderful.
that's still there. Um,
Oh, and relating to what you said before with the customization items, that's probably a good time to bring up this season. They're doing
yeah, so
seasonal gear.
they're doing it more in an organized fashion this time. So in past games, you'd have like random updates that add new maps and like new gear and stuff like that, and they would just kind of come whenever there's an update. Now they have it so that besides updates like stages and weapons, every 3 months you get catalogs, and the catalogs are specifically items that have to do with the Hotlantis store, which is like all the locker stuff and like like cosmetic stuff. Um, and yeah, every 3 months there's a new catalog, and you can earn catalog points by playing.
Mm.
Um, and that's how you get like kind of these like seasonal items. Um, Now it's unclear if like you can like continue to get items after a catalog has been replaced with a new catalog. It sounds like you just get new catalogs, so like it just adds stuff to the pool, as opposed to like stuff goes away.
Hmm.
Um,
Wait, so
but
there's gonna be gear in there too, right?
so
I think it says gear, but maybe that means gear for
yeah,
your
so
locker.
it's more of like the minor stuff for the catalogs, but they are going to be adding gear, weapons, and stages like alongside those.
Gotcha.
So the yeah, the catalogs are kind of like a bonus. Like it's kind of like Switch Sports where, every week there's a new set of like cosmetic stuff that
Mhm.
you can grind to unlock. Um Except this time, um the it's in this game it's like cosmetic stuff that happens like every 3 months with the catalogs. Um so that's a cool new thing. I think they showed like a little example of one. It shows like a squid dabbing as an emote, and like there's a couple items in there.
I
Um,
will say one thing. I wish they decoupled stats from clothing,
so
just because
yeah,
it makes people look the same after a while.
well, the thing that's cool this time, and I was actually going to mention this next, is
Mhm.
unlike Splatoon 2 and the original game, something that people have actually been asking for a while is you can now change the primary power um, on your gear. So previously, you'd buy a shirt and say it would have an effect like bomb up, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then that's the primary ability that it grants you. And then when you level it up, there's like sub abilities that you could get, and they can be anything. There's this whole meta game to this, but you'd never be able to change the base one that came with that shirt. Like every piece of gear had a specific primary ability, and that was always
Mhm.
what that piece of gear is going to be. It's never going to change. Now you can change it,
Hmm.
um, which will hopefully lead to more people just dressing in what they want, because you have the
Yeah.
ability to change
You just
the
need to have one
powers.
that has 3 slots.
Well, you whatever you can. It's similar to last time where like You can use the sea snails to reshuffle ability slots or scrub them and stuff like that.
Can you use
But
anything to get new slots though?
I don't know if you can use anything to
Because
get
like, let's say
more.
you have a shirt you love, but it only has one like gear slot in it.
Yeah, see that I don't know.
Mhm.
But if so, there's something that's called star power this time. Well, I guess it was in last time too. It can go higher than 3 stars, but basically, if you see something in the shop and you already own it, and you buy it again, it'll increase the item's star power.
Oh,
And the star power will just let you get more experience with it faster,
that's
and
cool.
get ability chunks faster. So that's a whole meta game to this thing, is all these different abilities and like what they do, and trying to have like a good set of abilities on the gear that you have, and like, you know, it's a whole thing. I'm not even going to go into it. It's a whole thing. There's a couple new powers this time that they've added. A couple they've removed. Um, so it's that system is back, but this time you can actually like change the primary ability, which is pretty major, in
Mhm.
terms of how gear works, which is cool. And again, like a lot of this stuff is like, if you play Splatoon, like all of this stuff is like meaningful. But if you maybe haven't, or you just barely played previous games, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. Um, and that's kind of what a lot of these additions and tweaks are, is a lot of quality of life.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, the catalog, I just saw the catalog points thing. You get them through achievements. So like if you get your first win, or you do like a mode or whatever, like you'll get catalog points by doing that. And that's how you
Like
unlock.
dailies and stuff.
Yeah, it seems.
Ah,
Um,
dailies. My
but
worst enemy.
there's dailies, and I think there's like normal ones too. And that's kind of how the splash tag thing works too. You have like a nickname, a
I
banner,
like
and a
those.
title,
Yeah.
and badges. And badges are also achievement based. Like you know, if you do like 50 regular battle wins, like you might get a badge, and you can customize your little name card,
That's nice.
with it.
It seems like a game you can sink a lot of time into.
Yeah, it's like, and I know you can get like more stuff. There's like a machine that uses conch shells, which is another form of currency, that can get you stuff for your splash tag. So there's like a lot of different like systems and different things that you can like earn and buy. Like I know the food stuff is back too. That gives you like different effects during battle. That you could buy like food stuff like in game. So like all of that stuff kind of combines into this kind of like insanity. Um, the they changed ranking. There's like rank points now, and instead of having a rank for each individual mode, you just have an overall rank, which is nice. Um, and that's kind of where we get to that thing you mentioned earlier about like winning 5 times or whatever, like the anarchy battle thing.
Hmm.
It's a lot. There's just so much that's going on here. That's too much to really
Yeah.
to get
There's.
into.
Yeah.
They're going to be adding X battles in again, which is like the highest rank stuff. They're going to be adding a thing after where you can like search by keywords to like find um like players to play with. Like, you know, if someone's like,
Oh.
oh, I want to play, you know, anarchy
Maybe.
series clam blitz or whatever, like you can click on
Yeah.
that keyword and find people who want to do that.
Oh, that's cool. Or if like a big streamer like is like, hey everyone, let's go to this
Yeah,
tag or
I'm kind of
something. I don't know.
curious if it'll be like that. League battles are coming again, and that's still like its own thing. Um, and of course, with Salmon Run, you can still get like special items from playing Salmon Run. That's kind of
Hmm.
the whole thing there, is you get, you know, points to get reward capsules, like how it worked in the last game,
Yeah.
um, which is cool. I think the last major thing to talk about
Is
is the Splatfest stuff.
no.
Oh, sorry, yeah, there's two things. Before Splatfest stuff, the new mode.
The new mode, the coolest thing in the game, which there's not even a page for on the site yet.
Yeah, there's not. Is
Splatoon 3
I don't know
card
the
game mode called
yeah
Table Turf.
yeah. So it's a game where you everyone starts with a default deck. I guess there's a total of 150 cards
Oh yeah.
in the game, and you can like you earn cards as you go through the game, so you don't have everything immediately. It's another thing that you can get. and
I
it's a
hope there's
one
ranked
on.
mode in this.
I know that. Well, all I know is that there's a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one game you can play
Yeah.
online. It's a card game version of Turf War.
It looks
Um,
like Block. Have you ever played like Blockus or something?
I haven't.
It's like a little board game where you place like these different like tiles and try to like fill in the most like space. It looks kind of like that. Might not be,
Yeah,
but it looks fun. I'll be honest.
yeah, yeah. It looks neat. It's not what I'm playing the game for, but
It's exactly what I'm playing the game for,
it's.
and I hope I enjoy it.
I don't see any rhythm mini game, which upsets me because that's one of my favorite things in Splatoon. But who knows? They can always get at it, I guess. So that's like another like side mode that you can kind of just literally never bother with if you don't want
Mhm.
to, but like it's there and it has a lot of stuff to do. And it's kind of, I guess that's kind of what it is. I think the theme of it this time. I don't think they actually expect you to like go and do everything. I think it's just everything that is there. If you like that mode, they've put a lot of stuff in for you to do in that
Mhm.
mode. So obviously they expect people to play multiplayer on some level, but like the other stuff, we still have campaign, which they barely showed any of. Um, Salmon Run they showed a little bit of, but that's like it's kind of its own thing. And they have the whole locker and decoration thing now that you can get into if you want. If you don't, then it's whatever because it doesn't matter. It's like all cosmetic stuff. So I like that there's depth to each thing that's
Mhm.
included, but I do wish there was like one big new thing.
Also,
Uh,
I wish the single player was a little more exciting.
well,
They basically sold it as a tutorial.
yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what it's always been, but they didn't show much, and I know people were a little sad because they didn't really show much of single player. I'm kind of happy they didn't show much of single player because I kind of just don't want it like ruined. Like they
I
showed,
enjoyed single player and one a lot. I didn't
I
finish
did
the one
too.
and two. I
I
would like to get back to it, but
I
I thought
enjoyed
Splatoon
it.
one single player was fun.
I enjoyed it a lot in one. I still liked two. I didn't think it was as fun, but I still liked it, and I liked a lot of the new additions that got put in
Mhm.
um, that mode that made it deeper and more fun to replay. So I'm looking forward to that here, and it looks like based on the very brief montage of stuff that they showed that it has a little bit of Octo expansion in it as well.
Mhm.
Where there's like looks like there's some stages that are like formatted that way. Um, so I'm very curious to see what's there, and I think there's probably some cool stuff hiding in there, but they just did not show it. Which again, I'm personally okay with because I kind of just want to go into that blind. It's like one thing to show off multiplayer content that everyone's gonna, you know, play or whatever, but if you have a single player story mode with like finite number of stages and stuff like that, I'm cool if you don't show it. Um, I know the first game in particular, they showed a lot of campaign before
Mhm.
the game came out. And Splatoon 2, they showed a fair amount of it too, and I'm very fine with not seeing much of it this time. I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. If it's like a merger of normal hero mode with Octo expansion, I think that would be really cool. Um, Octo expansion was super cool. I still have to finish it, actually.
I have to
Uh,
start it.
Start it. Yeah.
I would like to.
They did announce that they're going to be adding a major paid DLC
Yeah,
to
I hope
Splatoon
that's a
3.
single player thing.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't really make sense if it's. I hope it's not a
Yeah,
multiplayer thing. It would just make more sense.
yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
silhouette that they used to tease it was off the hook because they're not super featured in the game
Oh,
right now.
so you'd think it's,
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be some major single player expansion
which is awesome.
thing. I think it would
I
be kind of
support that.
stinky if it was like a multiplayer expansion and that people wouldn't be able to like pick stages or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
you should never do multiplayer things that split the player base.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think a thing companies are learning a lot of too.
yeah.
Because
Um,
even like in Mario Kart, you can play the new stages even if you don't own them.
right. Yeah, you can play them online. Like, just basically, like, so if there's someone in your lobby who has access to them, they can choose them and they can show up. And
Which
if
is wonderful.
which is
That's how it
cool.
should be.
Yeah. Um, and then I guess the last thing for Splatoon before we move on is the new Splatfest stuff. They've
Mhm.
revamped Splatfest in a way I think that makes a lot of
Yes.
sense. It's
Mhm.
no longer like, oh, you pick something and then there's two choices. You pick something and like part of the way if you win is the number of votes. Part of the way you win is, you know, um, like how the battle went, and then like there's like another part to it too that was like I think it was the freshness or whatever. I can't even remember. This time you have three choices for Splatfest because there's a new idol group and there's three of them this time. Shiver, Fry, and Big Man, the Manta Ray. And so although a teeny bit of it will still depend on like the votes, like it will impact the total. Before the thing even starts, you can essentially like they kind of described it as like you can kind of do work for your team before the Splatfest starts. So like in that window where you like choose what team you're going to be on. And I guess by doing stuff and by playing the game, you get these conch shells, which are used for like the nameplates, but they also impact the results for your Splatfest team. So yeah, if you battle and you work shifts, you increase your catalog level, which is that the free items they're adding, and it'll give you conch shells. So depending on how many conch shells each team earns during this segment, which they call sneak peek, it does impact the event. So if you can't actually play the Splatfest itself, you can still kind of impact it by just playing the game in general around the time that it's going to happen, which is cute. Then the first half of the Splatfest is kind of the same. You get clout and multipliers and stuff based on winning. You go against two teams. If there's no one on the other team to match with, you'll match with your own team. And you can do open battles or pro battles. The new thing here is there are the halftime report in the second half. So once a day is gone, you get the halftime report, which kind of gives everyone an idea of where you are. And then the tricolor turf war happens, which is a new mode. And basically, the first player, the team that's in first place becomes, is the group of four. And they're in the center of the map. And then they get challenged by two teams of two players each from the other two teams. And there's this whole like defending this object in the center of the stage, called the Ultra Signal. And yeah, like it can basically, like, if you get the Ultra Signal on your side, one of the deep cut team members will show their support and like impact the battle and increase the team's inked area. So it's like a turf war with a twist.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't able to be matched into that, you will get matched into a normal turf war as well. So the final actual like results, there's points from votes, points from conch shells, points from clout in Splatfest battles and in the tricolor turf wars, and then there's a clout from the pro Splatfest battles that you can join into that all kind of combine into, I think, giving a more dynamic result for Splatfests. Because so often what would happen is, right, like you'd pick a team, whatever team was the most popular would do worse in the actual battle part, which was way heavier. So usually what would happen is the least popular team would win the Splatfest just because of how it breaks down. Now that there's three choices and a lot of other factors going on here, I think it'll make Splatfest more interesting.
That would be good. And did you talk about the 3-team mode yet?
Yeah. The tri-turf. Yeah. The tri-turf thing is neat. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I might have phased out for a second. I'm back.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, that's the whole thing with the Ultra Signal.
Yeah, I'd love to see I don't know if Switch can handle 12 players in a match, but I'd love to see like a multi-team be like a regular mode, because I love that in like other games.
Yeah, they have for tri-colored whatever Splatfest mode. It's still 8 people.
Yeah, I know. It's like what is it? It's
the winning teams in the center.
3v2.
It's like 4v2v2. So winning team for the Splatfest winning team is in the center, and then the two other teams have 2 reps each on opposite sides of the stage. So yeah, I think it's neat. I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah,
They are putting
that's
out a Splatfest test demo. It's out for download right now.
yeah. We're recording this on the 19th, so
Yeah. And you will be able. It is a pre-launch Splatfest
yeah.
demo.
So definitely download that.
It's rock paper or scissors, I believe, is the
Yeah.
is the choice. So this is a Splatfest that's not going to happen in the main game. It's like exclusive.
What are
to
you
this.
choosing?
Oh God, I don't know. I haven't
Pick.
thought about it yet.
I'm going rock.
My brain said scissors the fastest, so I might go scissors.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I love Big Man, and I kind of just want to pick whatever Big Man picks.
Oh.
But it's kind of like
I just
last
like
time. It's
rocks.
there's the waifu wars. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have. I like the new Squid Idols. I think they're
Yeah.
neat. They have the non-binary one, which is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Shiver.
That's fun.
Big Man is beautiful and the love of my life. But yeah, a lot of stuff kind of packed into that 30 minutes, even if not all of it was like big
Yeah.
stuff.
We have other stuff we want to talk about tonight, right?
We do. So the other kind of half of this August fun is there was a bunch of Kirby stuff that happened. First off, Kirby's Dream Buffet came out a few days ago, as of this recording. One Up and I played some matches against each other a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the game in general?
It is a simple but fun little thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a little underfeatured, but I think it's enough to justify what they're charging for.
Yeah, so it's $15. Essentially, you go into the main thing is a Grand Prix mode. You can play against comms. You can play locally. I think it's 2-player split screen or up to 4-player local wireless, and then you can play online with up to 4 people. And you go through 4 courses basically. There's a race, a mini game, which is like a little
like a 20-second.
It's a very short mini game. A second race, and then the battle royale mode, which is basically just like you kick the shit out of each other for a few minutes.
It's like bumper balls, but with power-ups.
Yeah. So, and the main objective here is to get as the most strawberries, and you get strawberries by rolling over them on the track, or in the mini games and battles. And if you, for purposes of racing, if you get to the end first, there's a couple of like cakes, and they have different numbers of strawberries. I think it's like 50, 20, and 10. So you want to finish the race fastest so you can get the 50.
Yeah, and then you have to spin the analog stick really fast.
And then you spin the analog stick to collect the strawberries. It's very fast and very fun. I want to say like a round of Grand Prix takes maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's the racing is a little slippery.
It is.
Sometimes it doesn't feel quite the best. It doesn't feel bad.
Yeah, if you like move the analog stick a little, Kirby fucking flies. Like,
yeah,
There's
also like a little more delay than I'd like.
Yeah, for the online, it's definitely a bit of delay, and I know even playing locally, it's not delay, but like sometimes when you get a power, you think that you can use it sooner than you can.
Yeah, and also like the jumps have like there's definitely like a little bit of delay between hitting the jump button. And
there's jumping is kind of weird. If you fall off the course, there's this hovering thing you can do, which is when Kirby puffs up and does the thing.
You mash to get back on.
Yeah, and basically like there's a meter for this. And if the meter runs out, you just straight up fall off the stage. And if you get hit hard enough outside of the stage, you fall anyway. And if you actually fall off the stage, you lose strawberries, so you don't want to.
Yeah, which happens more in the battle royale.
That's more for the battle royale. But you can fall off the stage in the races as well. And so I enjoy the game. It's very simple, but there's a lot of content in it. You basically get stuff by leveling up, and you level up by getting strawberries, which is everything in this game is about getting strawberries. So there's a certain number of strawberries you need to level up, and then there's a reward for the level up. So it can be anything from costume or a color to music to like a new stage or a new mini game. So as you play more, there are more stages and mini games and stuff being mixed in.
Mhm.
However, something that is pretty critical here is you cannot, even in friend matches, you cannot choose the stages that you are going
Yeah,
to.
which is pretty BS because there is like a fair variety of
There
mini
are.
game stages, race stages, and battle
Yeah.
stages, and you just can't choose them.
Yeah, I think it would be fine if, like, I don't mind having the random sets for Grand Prix mode, but I wish they had, like, a custom mode where you can actually choose and actually see all the ones you have. It's the
Yeah,
same for the music as well. The music is random, but you have
it's
but more music shows up as you unlock it, and it would be kind of cool if, like, so in game there's a rewards menu basically, and it shows you what you get for each rank up. And if you hover over a song that you've unlocked, it'll start playing that song. So that functions as a sound test essentially, but the songs in the game that are there by default don't show up there because they're in the game by default. So you can't just listen to them if you want to, which is weird.
mhm. There's a lot of weird things like that.
Yeah.
I think the amount of features in this game is really solid for $15, but the
Yeah.
way the features are doled out
Yeah.
feels like there's less content than there is.
Yeah, like it makes the game feel smaller than it is, and it's actually much bigger than it seems.
Mm.
The other thing too that One Up and I found that I thought was very weird was how friend battles online are handled. They're password matches. So like there are games with lobby systems, right? And you can like lock them with a password, and that's fine. That's cool. That's how I prefer it. You can have an open lobby, or you can make it so that you need a password to get into the lobby. But this game kind of skips the lobby part, and basically for online battles with friends, you make a password, and then you get thrown into the little waiting room, and then someone else has to enter the same password to join your room. And it's kind of funky and weird. Like if you like enter the password, if you both like enter the password and join like too close together, like you won't end up together.
Yeah, you have to make sure one person is fully in first.
Yeah, and then the other person can enter the password, and like technically someone could just like guess your password. There's not anything stopping anyone from like guessing whatever your password is. The password can be up to 10 characters, but it's not like a lobby. Like you don't make a lobby and then set the password to it. It's you make a password. It's weird. It's I don't know if it makes much sense talking about it, but when you actually like do it, it's weird. Um, so that's a thing. The other thing that we got to talking about is there's this whole free rolling mode in the game. So
Yeah.
besides the main game is absolutely just, you know, the racing and battles and mini games and stuff like that, and that's great. There's a whole side thing that you can do. It's available on the menu, or you can do it online for some reason, called free rolling, and it's essentially a giant open area that you can roll around in, and there's like different sections, and you can get strawberries and stuff. So like there's a part with pancakes that you can climb. There's another one with like a little chute that you can climb up. There's a little part with wispy woods. There's boxes with the game's power-ups throughout it.
It's really cool. It has like there's a few like platforming challenges, and there's all the 3DS and Wii and Switch games.
Yeah, like the
have
little
like
game,
shrines dedicated to them.
There's little shrines and stuff, and it's a fairly large map. And all it is you can just kind of roll around, and it literally, when you're doing it online, it literally sets a timer of an hour, so you can literally just roll around for like an hour if you want to. It ends when you get the one strawberry cake at the top, and you know you don't keep any of those strawberries. It's purely just for messing around.
Yeah,
and
it's
both
just for fun.
and both of us were just kind of like, this would be perfect for a city trial mode. Like all that really needs to be done is like set the timer for 2 minutes. Maybe make the strawberries like less campable because they respawn pretty quick on the map.
Yeah, you need like a little more things going on. And make sure there's more limits,
or like maybe like bigger rewards for harder tasks. Some of the platforming challenges are a little tough. There's enemies there. Wispy Woods is there. Their power-ups are there. Like everything's there to make it an actual mode that you would play competitively.
There's like unique assets there too. Like it's impressive.
Yeah, but there is just not. It's just yeah, it's just not a. It's
Yeah, I wonder
not.
if they had grander plans for that mode that didn't happen.
I know, like, one thing that I was saying was like you could set the timer for like 2 minutes. I mean, it's a big map. It's a big map as far as the game goes, but it's certainly
Hmm.
not as big as like the city trial map.
No.
Um, but if it was a smaller amount of time, like city trial's 5 minutes, if it was like 2 minutes, it would be perfectly fine.
Hmm.
So like if you did like 2 minutes on that, and then did like the little battle game at the after the 2 minutes runs out, I think that would be a really compelling like city trial kind of mode. But as it is,
That'd be very cute.
it's kind of just there
Yeah,
for
it's a thing you look at
no.
once and you
Yeah, it's
never
there for
touch
no
again.
apparent reason. It's just kind of weird. Like,
I guess you can play tag or something. I don't know.
yeah, well, it's weird. Like, I wouldn't think anything of it if it was just on the menu and like you roll around or whatever. But the fact that you can do it online with people too, and it's like an option, like
Yeah.
you pick Grand Prix or free roll.
Yeah, those are the only two options. You can't just
Yeah,
like play like random mini
yeah,
games.
you can't just pick like, oh, I want to do a single race or like a single battle mini game or whatever. But or again, as we were complaining, no like custom like you
Yeah.
choose what's in each. But yeah, it's just so weird. Like you could really do something with. I mean, it's there. It's all there. I guess you could do a thing where like maybe like when only a minute's left, an event happens because City Trial always had those weird events and stuff that would happen.
Hmm.
Um, but like even if you didn't do that and it was just 2 minutes rolling around the giant map, 2 minutes is not that long of a time to get around that giant map and to do
Yeah.
everything. Um, and you could just I don't understand why that's not a thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's so like it's basically there and it's
It's
just
there.
yeah, it's
But
weird.
it's a cute little thing.
Yeah.
There's
You
also
get
like bonus stars at the end, kind of.
yeah, so they have the Mario Party style bonus
Yeah.
stars where it's like they'll pick three random things. It'll and each of them will give you 40 strawberries. So like one is like you've rolled the most strawberries during races, you've hovered the most, you got the most copy abilities, stuff like that. And it picks three of them at the end and awards people based on it. It is a little sad that you can't see the stats for it like Mario Party.
Mhm.
Because like Mario Party, like, oh yeah, who landed on the most happening squares, right? And it's like two people win, and you're like, oh well, I wonder how many were landed on. And then you look in the stats, like, oh, they both got two. You can't do that here. It doesn't show
Yeah,
you any of that
there's no.
stuff.
The only stat is like victories per
Yeah,
mode.
the only stat is, well, there's victory, and then there's the like skill level stat, which is kind of like Smash Power, I think.
Oh,
Well,
where's
not like
that?
not like Smash Power. I think it's only in non-friend battles, but
Oh, okay.
it's like under victory, so it keeps your total victories, and you have like a skill level, and it just kind of like puts your ranking compared to literally
Gotcha. I've
everyone
not
who's
even
played
seen that.
online. Yeah, it's very inconsequential. Like the game doesn't even really like put any attention to it, honestly. Um, and it is cool that you get bonuses and strawberries for playing online or playing with friends and stuff. Like
Mm.
you get multipliers. Because again, you level up by getting strawberries. Like that's the entirety of this game's progress is strawberry based. Um, so like you will see your final total of strawberries at the end, and you see the bonus that you get, and you see what everyone else got, but you don't get to see anything cool like like how Mario Party has the coin graph,
Mm.
where it shows how like people progress throughout the course of the game. Like if they had like a little graph that was like each race or mini game, and it
Hmm.
showed like how the strawberries went up and down between them, it would be really cool. You can be like, oh, like that person like did really bad at the final game, that's why they lost, or this person made a giant comeback in the last game, they got so many strawberries. Because in the final game, your strawberries are dropping all over the place. Master Hand's there too with tongs trying to pick you up. You get knocked off the map, you lose a bunch of strawberries. Like you're fighting each other,
Hmm.
and it's very chaotic and super fun. Um, but you don't really get to see. Like you can kind of see it'll give you updates on how many berries people have between rounds. But it would be so cool if it just had that one little extra thing at the end, like Mario Party, where it shows you the stats during the match.
Yeah, it would be nice to see like
It'd
your
be very
stat
cute.
things.
Yeah, like, oh, this person's really good at the race. Like this person's, or like this person got like 17 copy abilities and I only got two, or
Mm.
like stuff like that. Like it would be, I think it would be cute. Because it's
Yeah, there are
keeping
little
track
power
of
ups.
all of
Did
that.
did we talk about battle mode?
We talked a little bit about, well, we talked just a little bit about battle mode,
Yeah,
which is the
that's
most
probably
fun. I
one
think
of the
that's the
most
most
fun
fun.
things. There's
Yeah.
you're trying to knock each other off the stage and collect strawberries. It's the part where you're interacting with people the most.
Yeah. Because you do interact with
It,
people with racing, like you can mess them up, but like you're
yeah,
really messing them up in battle mode. Like it's just all about causing chaos.
yeah, and it feels like there's definitely skill involved. Like it's not just
Yeah.
like a,
Yeah, no, it's certainly not just
it's not
like,
just random.
yeah. Um,
It's
and
cute. I would
it's
play
super
more.
cool. And
I don't know
again,
how
like,
much more, but
like you unlock new race stages, new mini
mhm,
game stages, and new battle stages as you go through, and they get thrown into that pool, which is great.
yeah,
But there's no way to make
no way to
custom
play with.
games.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
get the last stage at least. I guess
yeah,
that'll be my goal.
yeah. Um,
My goal will be to unlock the last race stage, and then I'll
and
probably retire.
I guess it's worth mentioning too, if you have save data for other Kirby games on Switch, you get 3 bonus tracks per game, which is
Hmm.
super cool.
This is really
Um,
nice.
I believe it's, excuse me, total of 12 bonus tracks that you get, which is super cool.
That sounds correct.
There's a lot of music in the game. Again, it's all completely randomized.
Yeah, that's
Um,
something.
but it's a lot of variety.
Mhm.
And it's a very nice anniversary celebration. I didn't even mention too, you get the little cookie tiles.
Mhm.
There's sprites and characters from like the entirety of Kirby's history, and it's pretty much random. I think which ones you get. Like every time you level up,
Yeah, I
you
wish
get
they
one.
were. I wish they were attached to like achievements or something.
I wish maybe like some of them were,
Yeah, at
but
least
I
some of them.
like that they're random because not everybody has the same ones constantly.
Mhm.
Because if it's like if you everyone got the same cookie at level 3, then like you see people with their like their plates like all being the same. Basically, when you start the game or a race, you start on a little pedestal, and the pedestal is a cookie, and the cookie is one of the things that you unlock and you can customize. You can also decorate the cake on your menu with them, which is very cute. But the main thing is that you can set the cookies as your like pedestal. Um, and again, they're very fun. They are separate from level up unlocks. I think they just like you just get a random one. I don't understand what causes it. Like sometimes you get multiple,
You
sometimes you
get
only
more
get
for Grand
one.
Prix, I think.
Yeah, like I don't know if you get more if you win, like
Hmm.
or if you get more berries. Like it you get at least one every level up, but beyond that, I don't know how it decides what you get, and it doesn't say, it doesn't explain it anywhere. Like you just kind of get cookies as you play, which is fine. They're not like some major thing. The actual costumes and colors are like on the rewards list. You can like see like, oh hey, like these are the next 5 levels worth of rewards that I can get. Um, so you're like, oh cool, if I get to level 10, I'll get, I think it was like the was it the Kirby car
Yeah, I
cake
can't say for
hat
sure, but
or whatever.
it's good encouragement.
Yeah, and that so there's lots of customization and lots of like there's lots of contents in the game. It's
Yeah.
just the way the game presents it is a little weird at times.
Hmm.
I hope maybe we see an update. I don't think we
Yeah.
will because typically the Kirby sub game or the Kirby like side games on eShop and stuff are just kind of
Hmm.
one and done releases.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever updated one actually. Um, so I don't think we will, but I think it's an easy recommendation if you like Kirby.
Yeah, it's a cute thing you'll play for a couple hours and then forget about. But it's good enough. And play it now while there's players still.
Yeah, that's
Because I
true.
do wonder if you try to play this game in 6 months, if you find anybody.
It is nice that they include local wireless and
Hmm.
single
Yep.
console split screen. Single
And
console
there's a lot
split
of
screen.
there's like 5 difficulties or so for.
Yeah, the CPUs do have multiple difficulties. It is a little disappointing that you can't do 4-player split screen. Um,
Yeah.
but I can kind of see why. It's just like if the way that the game's camera works and the way the tracks are,
Well, we
like
just need the Switch Pro for that.
it just having that little of a viewing window I think might not go so great, but I wouldn't object to it being there.
Mhm.
But you can still do 4-player local wireless with multiple systems. Obviously, that's not as convenient or cheap, um, but yeah. So this got announced. This got teased a while back and got finally like dated during the Kirby 30th Music Fest.
Yeah, they showed the trailer like
Yeah,
a few days before it came out. Like I thought when we were first going to record this podcast, we were just going to talk about the trailer,
yeah,
and then I
yeah,
played the game.
yeah. So, the
So yeah,
Kirby.
sorry, music.
Oh, you're fine. The Kirby Music Fest was amazing. If you like Kirby and you like Kirby music at all, I would highly suggest you watch. The video is going to be up until August 31st on the
Oh,
Japanese YouTube.
I should
Um,
give that a check
it's
out.
a full ass concert. It is
Wow.
2 hours and 15 minutes, I believe. Now there's a lot of talking and stuff in between segments, and unfortunately that's not translated, um, because they do talk a lot.
Mm,
And it would be kind of cool to have an officially translated version to know like what they're talking about, because they're talking about like Kirby development and like how they do the music and stuff like that.
mm,
Um, but you see a lot of the Kirby sound staff there. You see Kirby's voice actress there. They have this dancing Kirby on screen, um, who who also talks and makes sounds and stuff. And like
of
they
course.
they gave the crowd like light sticks that change color based on what's happening, and Kirby like kind of shakes his at like the beat that they want people to shake him at. Alongside video of like the games that the music's from as well. There's lots of gameplay footage, lots of footage of Kirby games in general. And it was there that they announced the final release for Dream Buffet, as well as the new trailer for it, and also that they are releasing the Kirby anime on Blu-ray,
Mm,
which is kind of big because I think a lot of those episodes are not like available in other places. Like the last time I knew
yeah,
that they were available was like the Kirby TV channel in like Europe.
I had a DVD with like 3 episodes.
Yeah, like they have like not they don't have complete versions out
I
there.
I mean, just a side note, but I hated when kids shows used to have those DVDs. It was just 3 random
God, I hate
episodes.
those. Yeah, I hate those so
What
much.
a worthless thing.
I know. They're like there's a lot of shows that will like be like, "Oh yeah, like season, right?" It'll be like especially for kids shows. They love
Mhm.
doing the whole like instead of it's like, "Oh yeah, this is like part of the season," but they do like, like 4 episodes. You have to buy like 3 or 4 sets of DVDs to have like a full season. It's just so
Yeah, and it won't be in
obnoxious.
order.
Yeah, yeah. Or it'll be like they'll just randomly pick episodes, and it won't be like anything. Or it'll just be like loosely thematic. Sometimes not
Yeah.
even that. Honestly, it'll be like, oh, this is the DVD with the Christmas special, and also we threw in like 2 other episodes
Yeah.
randomly for fun.
I
Um,
had the SpongeBob one. I had a
yeah.
Kirby.
The discotheque
I,
sets are very cool. Those are the SD and Blu-ray
mm,
sets. Those are like mostly for like anime, but they've been doing game series and stuff too. And it's basically like it's the original aspect ratio. It's not like widescreen or anything like that, but it's like very high quality, like remasters of the original stuff, and it's all there. Like
mm,
you buy the Blu-ray set, and it's the full, you know, all the full seasons, and there's usually a lot of bonus content and stuff too. I don't know what company is handling the Kirby one. I don't know if it's one of the SD and Blu-ray things, but it's similar to it. Like it's
mhm.
the original aspect ratio. It's all the episodes in one set. I don't know if they're gonna bother bringing it to the West because the West did not get a lot of the episodes of that show.
Mm,
Um, I would be super cool if they brought it to the West and just left it with subtitles,
yeah.
um, because that would be a neat thing. But it's only announced for Japan so far. Um, but more importantly, the concert itself is wonderful. It's a great celebration of excuse me, a great celebration of Kirby history. It's a great 30th anniversary event. Um, if you like older Kirby, you like newer Kirby, there's music from everything in there. And it's really really fun. Like it's such a fun concert. So definitely watch it, if you can, um, before it gets taken down. Not that you can't, maybe find it somewhere else. I am aware, at least as of now, that archive.org does have a version of the stream available on it to download.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
so, it's not going to be, obviously, it's not going to be gone forever. People have already, instantly archived it. But um, really great mixes, great, really talented orchestra as well. the Kirby sound staff were also functioning as like the conductors um, during the show. Like it was such a great show. If you've ever watched like the Zelda concerts or like video games live, or you've watched like, I know like during stuff like the Game Awards, they'll have like, you know, the orchestra performances.
Mm-hmm.
Like take that and like multiply it by like fucking 50. Like it's really special.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I think that's mostly it. I guess before we go, what have you been playing lately?
I have been playing. I'm on
Nothing.
case 4 of Ace Attorney.
Nice. The Ace Attorney journey continues.
Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. I am playing a lot of fighting games. I'm playing Street Fighter 5 and Guilty Gear Strive and 5.
Strive and 5.
And then lastly, I have rejoined World of Warcraft because I have to be back for Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Oh right, I forgot that's happening.
Very important.
What's old is
but
new
that's
again.
been a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of my friends are into Final Fantasy 14. I am not an MMO person at all.
I gotta try Final Fantasy 14 eventually. I want to give it a shot, but for me, World of Warcraft is like, it's the MMO I like the feel of the best, besides like Guild Wars 2, which is kind of a different thing.
Someone I know was telling me they were like super into RuneScape again recently. I was like, okay.
RuneScape has some really, like, the quests in RuneScape are actually like, it's a lot less of like, go here, kill 2 of these.
Yeah.
Like the quests are kind of actually somewhat interesting, which you wouldn't expect from looking at it.
I just find it fascinating. Again, I mean, it is an MMO, but it is fascinating to see a game supported for so long and transform so much over such a long period of time.
Do you know how RuneScape Classic works?
I honestly don't know.
So this is a fascinating thing. They upgraded RuneScape from what a lot of people knew as kids as RuneScape, kind of the ugly overhead thing. Yeah. They prettied it up a little bit and changed the combat and called it RuneScape 3. And people did not like it.
Okay.
So they made a thing called RuneScape Classic, which was the one that everybody loved.
Mm-hmm.
And then they add content to that old version.
Oh, okay.
And they usually, not everything, but a lot of the content goes through votes.
Oh.
So they'll actually have people vote on if they think like a change is like in line with like the classic thing or not. And people love it.
You know, it's kind of interesting. This isn't an MMO, but that does remind me a little bit of how Minecraft gets updated, where like you can vote on like the next mob that gets added.
Yeah,
and, like,
I like that.
They're still updating all the, you know, classic versions are supported. There's
Java and Bedrock still.
Yeah, and they finally made it so that you just get both now when you buy them.
Yeah, it was frustrating before.
Well, it was frustrating because I bought Alpha or Classic or whatever Java. Mm-hmm. And they had the whole redeem thing for the Bedrock version, and I just didn't know, and I missed the window, and I was like, really? And it was a long window, and I was so mad, and then they finally were just like, nah, everyone just gets it. I'm like, all right, good. Actually, funnily enough, what you described about RuneScape kind of makes me think of Among Us a little bit, just because they kind of like, after the game took off, they were going to do a sequel, and then they just canceled it and decided to just add content into the original game instead. I think it's funny how stuff like that works.
I think listening to fans is good.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Actually, I was going to ask you, have you played Xenoblade 3? Is that something that you're doing?
No, I considered it, but after I watched more videos, I'm like, I don't think I'd like this game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is fine.
I've been playing, so I'm always on my dumb grind stuff. So this is the last month for grinding in Mario Golf, and I'm so excited about that because I don't have to do it anymore. So I have to do that. Chore. I have to do that still. I've been grinding Switch Sports only for stuff that I really like or significant stuff. So basically, if there's a week of items that has a new body type as the completion bonus, I've been doing that. So I recently grinded for the soccer ball body.
But you don't care about the other stuff anymore.
I mean, I do care about it, but it's too much. It takes too long.
So I think this is funny. Maybe that these things aren't like incongruous,
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's kind of funny that you don't like digital only games,
Yeah.
but you get really into like the battle pass, like the season pass
Well,
stuff,
it's
or not season
weird
pass stuff, but like the seasonal
because
content
I usually,
that is very much
yeah,
like online only game stuff.
yeah, seasonal stuff I'll get into, but not if it's like a battle pass. Like if it's something
Yeah,
that I have to pay for, no way.
yeah.
Um,
No, I feel
if
that.
it's free content and I like the game enough, I will grind it to play it. Like
Mhm.
I will not grind like the Fall Guys, like, you know, season
For your
pass or
battle
battle
pass. Yeah,
pass or pass whatever, but I will grind out like an event they have going on. Like that was one of the things I
yeah.
did recently, was I grinded out the Sonic event. It was a very easy event. Like it wasn't like, it didn't take that long to do at all. And like that stuff I like. I find that satisfying. I
Mhm.
don't find it satisfying when it's like I need to buy, a battle pass and like I
No.
level up, or like if I don't buy the battle pass, I'll level up and just not get an item because I didn't buy the battle pass. Like stupid
You
stuff like that drives me
the
crazy.
crappier battle pass.
Yeah, the
Are you
crappier
playing
battle pass.
anything besides the grindy?
So I played, let's see. So I played Fall Guys. Most recently I've been playing with friends. So that has been kind of on and off. I don't really grind in that game. I just kind of play it, and if there's something I
Yeah.
actually want or an event, I might do it. Um, Wario Cups are still a thing. They're almost over as
Oh
well.
wow,
That's
I forgot
something that
about
I do.
those.
There are a total of 52, I believe, and we're on
Wow.
week 49. I have to do this week still.
I'm
Um,
I'm honestly a little bit surprised we never got any sort of WarioWare updates.
yeah. I think really the Wario Cups, honestly, like if you haven't played in a while and you played at least one Wario Cup at some point,
I
um,
did.
all of the following Wario Cups will be available for you to play.
Oh, that's
And there
nice.
are some
Yeah.
very unique configurations. There was a Wario Cup recently that was like all like a bunch of the tutorial levels together as a time attack. Um, there was another one that was like you play as Dr. Krieger and like Mantis at the same time, and it's a very
Mhm.
weird like thing. So, there are some very unique ones. There are some that are less unique, but I think they make the game interesting. They're definitely worth checking out. It's actually a lot of a really interesting use of some of that content, because it's not like it adds
Yeah.
any new content. It's just using micro games that exist.
Mhm.
But yeah, for me, it's mainly been grinding Wario Cup, grinding Switch Sports. I'm gonna grind Mario Golf for the last time, and then I think my next thing before Splatoon is gonna be the Capcom Fighting Collection. I picked that up
Oh,
recently.
and what'd you get that on?
I have the Switch version.
Switch, nice.
Um,
Yeah, I know. Man, I really wish that was cross. If that was crossplay, I would
yeah,
get that.
yeah. I wish it was cross.
It's just it frustrates me. It's not.
We were talking
But
about this a
anyways,
little bit before we
yeah.
started recording, about like I love fighting games and I play them, and I always get them on platforms that my friends don't have them on, and they're not crossplay, and it's really annoying.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, Capcom Fighting Collection, and I think Dream Buffet, actually. Dream Buffet I obviously have been playing.
Yeah.
And I've been going into Pokemon Unite just to collect the free stuff.
I
That's how I've been playing Pokemon
I
Unite.
played a couple matches of Pokemon Unite recently. It's still fun. Like it's not something I
Yeah.
play regularly, but it's not bad.
I
Oh, I
yeah.
did finish one other game recently. I finally
Oh.
finished Vanquish,
Oh, that's right. How'd you like
the
it?
Platinum Games Classic. It's a lot of fun.
I still have to play it. I got the double pack with Bayonetta.
Yeah, it's
Um
it's 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 a solid game. It seems really hard at first, but it's actually not super difficult. You just have to learn
yeah.
that you can't use your powers that much.
That's kind of how most platinum games are, is like they have a learning curve and then
Yeah.
like it clicks. I even feel that way about Star Fox Zero, and I'm not going to go into
Mm,
that right now,
yeah.
but um I feel like Vanquish and like Bayonetta are definitely those kinds of
Yeah.
games.
You are
Um
very much a glass cannon,
yeah.
and you have to use your abilities like very sparingly since everything drains your health.
Yeah. I think the other thing too that I've been playing a lot, because I do play Nintendo mobile games, a lot of Pikmin Bloom. Pikmin Bloom has
Oh yeah, me
been,
too.
yeah, well, yeah, one up's been in my weekly. We've been doing the
Trying.
weekly challenges.
We're
It's
not we haven't been doing great recently, but I'll try
no,
to step it up.
I didn't go out this morning. I was going to, and I was like,
I was on community day.
yeah,
I we were at this like nice garden place. I'm not gonna dox myself.
okay, nice garden place.
Yeah, and so excited. I was gonna get my 10,000 steps in,
Mm-hmm.
and then me and my girlfriend both got like really bad stomach aches from like the lunch we had,
That
and
sucks.
we had to leave really early.
Oh, that sucks.
But I was planning to get a lot of steps in.
I never get 10,000 steps unless I'm like traveling.
Mm.
Like if I'm at the airport, I'll get 10,000 steps.
Oh,
So
I did it at the zoo once
that makes
for one
sense.
community day, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm not typically out and about on community day, so it sucks, and I never get the medals. I have like one medal. I think it was the sunflower one that I got.
You have to get lucky, and like it
Yeah.
just has to be on a day where you just happen to be like able
Yeah.
to walk a lot, because like 10,000 steps is like it's not a
Yeah, I'm like, can you make it
it's not
5,000, please?
it's
Like
not
maybe I could do
doable for a
that.
lot of days.
Yeah. But they've been adding a lot to that game recently, and I think in a way that's more fun for me personally than Pokemon Go. Because I actually opened up Pokemon Go again
Oh,
recently
I mean, same, 100%.
because I was like, well, the Pokemon Worlds are going on this weekend. They're giving out like T-shirts and like research whatever and codes or whatever, and that game is just so complicated. Like I don't
Yeah, there's too
understand.
much in it.
Yeah, like when I played it, I didn't play it from the beginning because at the time my phone couldn't support it, but at some point soon after I started getting into it and it was fun because it was relatively simple. Now it's like yeah, like it's just so much going on. Like there's like so many things on the screen like yelling at me and blinking at me and goals that
Yeah,
I'm
there's like
completing.
there's airships. There's
Yeah.
it's.
And I
I
hate
still know people
like
that like it, but
yeah.
it's
Yeah, I do
I
too.
uninstalled it. I'm done with it.
Like there's the battles and the gyms and you can leave Pokemon there and you can scan QR codes I guess now, scan the gym and like if you scan a product as an ad you get like a research task or like I'm just like it's so overwhelming. Like you log into that and the menus and everything is just like just a cacophony of
Yeah.
like insanity. Pikmin Bloom is so low stress. Like
Oh, do you know what the airship icon is in Pikmin Bloom?
the airship icon?
Yeah, so I got a giant seedling,
Oh.
and it has like an airship on it.
Interesting. I know they added more categories
Yeah.
recently. That's what I've been enjoying about Pikmin Bloom is that they have the weekly activities and they do these events now where for like a week or two by just participating in a weekly event you'll get a gold seedling. And the gold seedlings are special Pikmin. They're like the decor Pikmin. They just add like a couple. It's like a set of four. So like right now, the fingerboard one is going on, um, and there's like four types of fingerboard Pikmin. And if you participate in a weekly challenge, you'll get a gold seedling, um, and it hatches at only like 100 steps. And you'll get the special Pikmin. And then you can encounter huge seedlings that are also those that are like the bigger step totals, like 10,000. But
Yeah.
they've been adding new
Airship is
categories.
special.
I've gotten airport ones because I tend to be
Yeah.
around the airport a lot.
It's like
But
a hot air balloon. It's like special. It includes Mario hat
oh,
and chess piece ones.
okay.
So
So
that's what I was referring to as the airship. It's like a flower with like a ship
then
under
then
it.
that's probably one of the fingerboard ones that you have right now because that's
Oh, that'd be
the
crazy.
current one of that
Mm.
right now. Yeah, I think those are
Sorry, you were
like
saying airports.
yeah. Well, I have like airports. There's like ones for restaurants and stuff like that. Um,
There's sushi ones, but I've
yeah,
been to sushi places. They're not labeled.
yeah. So it's something I didn't understand until recently with Pikmin Bloom is that if you get a Pikmin's friendship level high enough, they will get a decor piece.
Yeah.
Um, so my brain was kind of like, oh, like the only way you can get decor Pikmin is if you get like the huge seedlings or like the golden seedlings, and that's
Oh
it.
wow. Yeah.
Because I've brought them on tons of expeditions and stuff, and like sent them on stuff and walked with them, but I don't think I've reached one that has like exactly 4 hearts yet.
Oh wow, that's wild. Yeah.
And maybe I haven't noticed.
Yeah.
But so the category that the Pikmin is like if it's a restaurant Pikmin or a airport Pikmin or a hot air balloon Pikmin or whatever. When they reach that friendship level, they'll go out and get a decor in that category, which I did
Mhm.
not realize.
Yeah, and they
So
added recently that you can, when you're planting a seed, you could
yeah,
tell what decor you're getting, which is
yeah,
that wasn't in there before, and that's really
yeah.
nice.
That's I saw all the icons on the hatchling seeds menu. They're changing
Mhm.
it too so that all of stuff is through the in-game coins, which is nice. Previously, like if you wanted storage upgrades, you had to pay with actual money.
Mm.
Now they're making it so that you can just pay with the in-game coins, which you can buy coins with money, but you can also grind them.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, and
So
you get coins so slowly though.
you do get coins extremely slowly. Like when I walk, my walks in the morning are usually around like 2,500 steps, and I get like
Yeah.
4 coins. I
I've been
think
playing since launch, and I have 53 coins.
I have 70 something now, just because I've been going on walks more often
Yeah.
recently. Yeah, you do not get coins very fast. I would be fine if they made that a little bit easier, but that they've at least made the paid stuff work with coins now is very good. I mean, the only thing I'm really concerned about with that is just Pikmin storage, and I'm not even anywhere near,
Yeah.
where that is. But you can buy items like there's the planter slots. It has its weird like nuances and like weirdness to it. But it's nowhere near as complicated as Pokemon Go, and I just like walking games.
Yeah, I like walking.
It's probably it's honestly probably one of my favorite mobile games is Pikmin Bloom. So I would, if you walk at all, even if you just go to work, like even if you barely do anything, like I just go on my morning walks. And,
It'll
that's
encourage you to
basically
walk
it.
a little more, and that's great.
Yeah, and even if you don't walk a little more and you're just walking the same amount, you can do and get some fun stuff.
Hey, encourage our audience.
Yeah, you should, but that's what has encouraged me to go on morning walks is doing Pikmin Bloom stuff. You don't have to fumble with it like when you're playing Pokemon Go and you have to like see if a Pokemon spawns and then be like throwing Pokeballs while walking across the street and getting hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Like
you just turn on the flower thing.
Yep, you turn on the flowers.
You walk and you turn off the flower thing when you're done.
Yeah, exactly. It's so simple. It's so nice. You can just walk and then check it when you come back, and that to me is ideal for a walking game.
If I'm going on a walk, I don't want to be checking my phone every 2 seconds.
You don't want to do that. Okay, we've been going on for a while.
Yeah,
I'll make one last quick note in that I'm super hyped about the Mega Drive Mini 2, and I don't care who knows or who cares. Bought that thing this morning. It's the Japanese one. There's so much cool stuff on there. M2 is amazing. I will probably try to force us to do a Mega Drive episode at some point. That's what that's why I'm like kind of like dying at the moment, is because I just stayed up like for like way too long to watch that stream. So, that's gonna be this week. A lot of stuff. We'll see you back again with another episode soon.
Yeah, our socials.
Yeah, we got nintendopipeline.wordpress.com, which is still in a stasis. That's our blog. Discord.gg/Nintendo Pipeline, which is our Discord community, which we now have forum threads since the Discord has integrated that. So you can check out those. We have threads for like events, random stuff, and that's on top of the standard
it's fun.
Channels.
It's a cute new feature.
Yeah. And then there's one I'm forgetting. Oh, yes. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on Anchor. Those are basically the same thing. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Stitcher. If you like what you're listening to for some reason, feel free to subscribe or check out some of the other stuff. We've got YouTube as well. We did put up a new video episode last week, which was our Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 2 community multiplayer stream. Well, that's a lot of words. You can see how the chaos went there. We will be putting out more special video episodes on occasion. You can check those out on Spotify too. Spotify supports video podcasts, so they're all there. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks, One Up, for talking.
Yeah, thank you so much
about stuff. And we will see you next time. See ya.
Peace.